Welcome everyone. Happy Friday night. I am Jeffrey Kipple. That's my name. I am the author of this comedy book, a science fiction comedy book called The Ridiculous Adventures of Serbinand. Yep, there it is. My name right there. And I am coming to you live. Well, I guess it's always live. I am coming to you live from Ixtapa, Mexico. Yeah, we're at this amazing resort and healing center, and when I'm not writing, I am, teaching and coaching and helping people really discover, their true authentic selves and go on that journey of healing. Tonight, though, I am here as author Jeff. So this book, although it just only has my name, Jeffrey Kipple, on the cover, it's actually going to be re-released with my wife, Mindy Blackstein, her name on the cover too, because while this process was a process that I started when I was in my teens, it's with her help as a creative director, a content helper, ensuring the flow of the story all has worked together. It became a collaborative effort. We've just re-edited the book, so it's going to be relaunched, and yeah, we're both going to be on the cover. But today, I'm the one here. I'm the one who's going to do a reading. So before I get into that, I thought I'd share a little bit about what I'm going to be reading tonight. That way it gives you a little bit more context, and hopefully it makes you enjoy it that much more. I started writing this book when I was in my early teens. And I started writing it after I read the books, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I read all of them multiple times. And I loved those books. The fact that reading a book could make you laugh and laugh out loud was really cool for me. So after the story ended, I wanted to continue that journey. And this is where it took me. So although I started writing in my teens, I didn't release it until I was 50. And it's now out on Audible and Kindle and Amazon. And the version that's on Audible was done so amazingly. The voice actor, Alan Irving, who put it together, did a brilliant job, and it's like he took the voices that I had in my head when I got the download to create the characters in the story. They came out kind of like what I had envisioned. So the audiobook is amazing. Tonight I'm going to be reading, and it's so weird doing the readings. I do, a lot of the live readings, and when I go to read it, there's a combination of my voice as the author who wrote it, and how that came into my head. There's a bit of the voice of Alan Irving also. And then there's a bit of the voice of me listening or being the person hearing the book read to. So it's a lot of fun now that I have all these different dimensions with it. So what I'm actually going to read, I'm going to read the opening scene, a little bit of the opening scene, right in chapter 1. And the reason I'm going to do that is that's what came to me when I first started writing it. And although the book has gone through, so many different revisions, the first page or two are pretty much on par with the what came out of my head, when I first put this down. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to skip from there to another section, and I'll explain a little bit more of that. There's not really much to set up here. It is the opening scene in the book, so it is what it is, and I welcome you to enjoy the experience. So again, this is The Ridiculous Adventures of Serbinand. Chapter 1, Sreefs and Rhino Kickers. From the distant star of Placelner he traveled. Why? Who knows? But that's not the point. At least not right now. For 3 billion galactic years and 9.2 megaseconds, his ship careened across the somewhat vast universe, turning left here and right there, and looping around some deltic sphagnoids every so often. But, all in all, besides the mishap near the Algernon sector, which we also won't get into right now, it was smooth trekking. His journey would have been a lot shorter had he not stopped at Joe's Galactic Bar. But who could blame him? With all the advertising that Joe had been doing lately, he wouldn't be surprised if a cornchar actually did stop by. You know the slogan. No party's complete without a cornchar. Why not stop in and try Joe's Galactic Bar? What is a cornchar? The space traveler thought as he came within a safe distance of the place. I wonder if other beings come by just to see if they can catch a glimpse of a cornchar, he pondered. Anyway, he decided why not, and stopped in for several sreefs and a shot of his favorite drink, the Rhino Kicker. This strange and bizarre sort of alcoholic beverage got its name during the age of bartenders. It is much like the one of the olden age soft drinks called Brizoza, which was banned under Section 75.76 of the Living Rights Act, Supplement 999.887.127.31455-A. Unlike Brioza, though, it's claimed that 3.289 seconds after tasting the Rhino Kicker, one would kick their legs back in disgust and charge something, usually a brick wall, scream singing, "Rhino! Rhino! Rhino!" The Rhino Kicker had no such effect on Serbinand, although he has claimed to have hallucinated packs of rhinos flying around his head. With drink in hand, Serbinand was now able to sit back for a moment, finally free to get acquainted with the beverage and get in touch with his feelings. At least try to. He'd been through a lot these last few hours. These last few weeks. No months, no years. Actually, to be safe, these last few decades. But now was the time to set things straight, or at least attain some kind of quasi-entertaining fashion of existence. And if that didn't work, well, he'll have to wreak havoc and disrupt flight schedules all around the world just to see how quickly he could bring the entire known civilization to a halt. Actually, to a complete halt, begging at his mercy. Or maybe he'll just go back home. One or the other. Both seem good, he thought. "Where ya off to?" asked something sitting on the bar stool above him. Serbinand wanted to answer the fuzzy creature, but he couldn't find its head anywhere. He didn't want to embarrass it by speaking to the wrong part of his body, so he just ignored it. "Have you been drinking the death bonker, or are you just ignoring me?" it asked, slightly annoyed. The voice appeared to be coming from the thing's foot, so, going on speculation, Serbinand spoke to its foot. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Actually, I thought that I heard a pack of rhinos coming this way, so I got scared and turned off my hearing senses." Serbinand was quite pleased with his ingenious story, especially the part about turning off his hearing senses, as if he really could do that with any degree of accuracy. So I'm going to pause there from that first opening scene in chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed some of the singing and and voices. I had some fun with it, so I hope you did too. And you know what? I wrote the book for me, you know, so it seemed like it was fun. I saw Mindy in the background enjoying reading the book and doing it that way, because I don't think I've I've done it that way before. No, I haven't, as she says. I have not. So that was fun. And thank you, Alan Irving, for inspiring me to have fun with it like it. Thank you. Mindy has told me that it came out really good. She gave me a big thumbs up. So I'm going to read now another small section to give you a little bit of a flavor of the book. So I'll set it up a little bit like this. There's a few main characters in the book. Jim, which is this teenager here on planet Earth, and Serbinand. Now Serbinand is, you've heard him a little bit at the beginning, he's just this fun, easygoing guy, alien, well, an alien, you heard he's from the planet Pasolner, alien who just is out having fun, having adventures, and just enjoying himself. And obviously they both have friends. Serbinand's best friend is the ship and the computer named Gottfried, and Jim's best friend is this budgie that I'm really happy that I didn't read any budgie scenes, because all of them are singing. He thinks he's on Broadway all the time, so that would, maybe next time I'll step it up and do some budgie singing. But Alan Irving does such an amazing job with that, so it's really funny in the book. So this scene that I'm going to share is, see, what happened is some kind of weird explosion or pop happened in the universe, and Serbinand and Jim switched bodies. And they don't really understand what's going on. They're both dealing with a lot of things as that progresses. And what's really cool is they both also get to experience the world or the universe from a fresh set of eyes to enjoy, and that means that you as a reader get to also experience things, you know, with that fun, childlike awareness, seeing it for the first time. So I see some mosquitoes are coming out. I guess that's about the time right now here at night. So anyhow, so this is again from The Ridiculous Adventures of Serbinand. This is chapter 8 called Revelations. And because of all the confusion that Serbinand and Jim were having, it seemed like author kind of needed to step into the story. So I'm going to read just a little section from this to give you another flavor of the book, The Ridiculous Adventures of Serbinand. Chapter 8, Revelations. Hi. I bet you're wondering who I am and what I'm doing here, interrupting the story and all. But I think it's appropriate for me to make an appearance right about now. Oh, you didn't think so? Well, this is really embarrassing. I didn't expect that. I was expecting cheers, applause, praise. But if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling that. So in that case, I guess you can skip the next few pages or maybe more. Not really sure at this point. I guess you could pretend this never happened, which would be a great psychological task indeed. However, I really think it's in everyone's best interest to just stick around for a few more pages, just so I can explain myself. What you're about to read, if you read it, is pretty, well, important. Good choice. Welcome to something important. Let's get right down to business. First of all, thank you for believing me. Next, I will answer what you're probably wondering. I mean, rather what I bet you would wonder at the beginning of this chapter to kind of coax you along. You know, myself, am the creator of the story. The author, if you will. So don't be alarmed. This tale has not been taken over by aliens, nor terrorists, or even an obscure virus forcing everyone into lockdown. And no, you don't have to eat any bizarre foods, solve a really hard riddle, or lunch with someone you'd rather not. This is not reality TV. This is real life. Now, what am I doing here? Well, that's simple. You see, I was sitting back and having a sandwich, watching my characters struggle to understand what happened to them. You know, the transfer of Serbinand into Jim and vice versa. Why did I do it? I sometimes wonder. Well, that is another story altogether, and likely will be revealed in the sequel to this book, or the sequel to that one, or perhaps, oops, I digress. Where was I? All right, let me get back to the story at hand. Very simply, Serbinand and Jim haven't been having much luck. I've had the opportunity to watch them for some time, and sometimes I just shake my head. Gottfried now thinks Serbinand, who we all know is Jim, is desperately trying to get even with him once and for all. You know, for all his practical jokes, no matter what amount of pain he must go through in the process. Meanwhile, the real Serbinand, the one in Jim's body, seems quite content, yeah? Despite feeling the effects of gravity, you know, with no real warning signs. Orville, on the other hand, plainly believes his best friend has gone utterly insane. Who can blame him? It's not every day that the transference of souls happens. Jim seems to be in the most distress, yep. While relieved he's no longer home, it may not be worth the long bouts of pain and extreme suffering. Now, I know this doesn't really explain why I halted everything just to make an appearance. Well, perhaps if you wish, I can just carry on narrating. Perhaps you wish I would just carry on narrating the story and let you find out what's going on, you know, naturally, without me here to spoil it. Well, no. You've already come this far. Plus, I am the author, so I guess I can do as I please. Whoa, well, I am so sorry. That was a bit of the Gottfried in me coming out. Wow. Godfrey's new personality. Whew. Sorry about that. Well, let's be real though. You've already come so far in reading this book, and I'm sure you don't want to just close this adventure, and pretend nothing really happened. So just hold on. Grab a protein bar, a sandwich, or something that you like, and listen to what I have to say. And for those of you who are no longer interested, of course, you can skip this part of the chapter and resume the story when it picks back up. But I'm sure you'll miss something really important. Perhaps. Anyway, back to why I so suddenly interrupted the fable. Not to say that this isn't real, it's just fable sounded so much more intriguing than story. Although I thought it would be neat to make Jim and Serbinand switch bodies, which I guess I unconsciously created them for, I hadn't really contemplated what would happen once this took place, or how they would adjust to their new circumstances. To put it plainly, I am left, my characters are left in a rather tight, strange, and precarious situation. So what I've decided to do is invite them all back to my house. So we can all sit down, chill out, and figure this all out together. Of course, I do realize that there might be a great deal of hostility, confusion, and yes, even some frustration. But what has to be done, right? So, oh yeah, before I do, I almost forgot. You're invited too, so come along. And I'll stop there. Leaving this scene off, I'll just tell you the next chapter, chapter 9, is called Characters Without an Author. So I hope you enjoyed that little reading. Thank you for everyone who joined on. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type it in. We are down in Ixtapa, Mexico. We are here at the World Healing and Training, running retreats and putting together different courses that are all designed to help people really love better who they are, how they think, how they act, how they feel, how they function, how they dream. So that's where we are. Indy and I are also at the same time writing book 2 and 3 in the Ridiculous Adventures of Serbin, along with another book, the overall empowerment world, which is right now it's being called Think Fit and Be Happy. Thank you all for joining in,